Welcome to Algebra 1 with ALEKS. This is a short video, one of several parts, where we just describe to you how we're going to use computers and do ALEKS and work on getting your algebra credit, learning Algebra 1. So the video has 4 parts. The first part is Algebra 1 with ALEKS, explaining it sort of in general. The second part is what your responsibilities are. And then the other 2 videos will be how do you learn with ALEKS, and then the last one would be keys to success. Okay, so first let's just start with the teacher, because things kind of get switched around a little bit in the ALEKS classroom. So first of all, as a teacher or teachers, we work for you. We're here for you in a way. Once we get started, you'll interact with the computer to get your problems and decide what you're going to work on. And then what happens is the teacher tries to find ways to help you. So one of the big things that we work on as algebra teachers is trying to find ways to explain the concepts and the procedures so that math is easy for students to understand. We know we're asking you to do something hard, or possibly hard, or complicated, and we also know that if we can explain it in a way that makes sense to you, then you'll be able to learn it. So that's our job, and that's what we really try to work hard on. So one of the things that we do, as you'll see, is that we try to provide you with different ways to learn, like videos, notes, one-on-one help, lots of things. There's lots of things that we can do, but the key is to understand that people learn differently. And so what we try to do is find out what's your way of learning and then try to help you with that method. And so in general, we're going to do whatever we can to do within reason to ensure that you pass, providing you make your best effort. That's the main thing. Make your best effort, and then we're there to support you. So let's just talk for a second about ALEKS. So it's an internet program. It provides problems to solve and short tests with an explain mode for help. So the first way you get help is with ALEKS. It provides examples on how to solve problems. The teacher and student tutors who provide one-on-one help. We have videos that you can watch, and we have things called reference notes, and then we'll explain how to get to them. So we have, rather than giving you a big giant Algebra 1 textbook, we've reduced it down to the stuff that you really need to know, just to make it a little bit easier to get help. And then we have special lessons. From time to time, we actually won't work on the computer. We're going to work on learning all the words that come along with the class, and that will help you go faster, especially towards the end. So ALEKS uses your test and practice information to decide what problems you solve next. This is really good because once ALEKS knows what you do know about math, then what it does is it gives you problems that are not too far away from what you know. So there's a 90% chance that you'll learn. So many of you probably had experiences where you've been in class and it feels like the teacher's going really fast, or you've missed a couple days and now you're way behind and you don't know what's going on, and it's really, really hard to catch up. So what happens in ALEKS is that doesn't happen. What happens with ALEKS is it tries to only give you stuff that's just a little bit further away from what you know. So in an ALEKS class, everybody at their computer will probably be working on different things. But that's good. So here's an example of a student that when they first started the class, they had 28 28%. They knew 28% when they first started the class. And then the green represents what they worked on. So they would work for a while, and then they would take another test, and they moved up from 28 to 23. Then they worked a little bit more, took another test, moved up to 53. And so you can see the blue just keeps going up and up and up. Then it gets a little bit harder at the end. Okay, then I believe this student came in on a Saturday and worked really hard, and then finally got up to 90%, and then got all the way up to 95%. Okay, and then they were done with the class. So this is one of the things that we look at. So if you stick with it, you can pass the class. So you must show your work in an organized notebook. You got to learn the math vocabulary by participating in all the special lessons we do. You have to attend class, obey the rules, and make steady progress by earning assessments. Now, what that means is ALEKS gives you the test, and it'll give it to you in two ways. If you just sit around and do nothing for a couple weeks, it'll say, okay, time's up, and it'll give you a test. Or what you do is you work really hard and learn some stuff, and then ALEKS will say, oh, you've learned a lot, so now it's time for a test. So we'll talk more. There's 225 topics total that for the Algebra 1 class. So to pass the class, you need to master 200 of them. And you can get a C. To get a B, you have to master 210. And to get an A, you need 215. So there's a little wiggle room at the top, but that's the deal. So is it possible to pass? Yes, definitely. Time is the biggest factor. You must use your time effectively. Okay? Let me just stick with that for a second. So when you come into class, you can't goof off for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You got to use that time. It's important. You got to get settled into the class and get started. And the same thing, don't watch the clock, and when you know it's about 15 minutes to the end of class, that's not the time to stop. You need to work all the way through. Make the best use of your time. There's no need to learn fast. There's no need to try to stay pace with some other student. That's not what it's about. It's just learning the way you learn at your rate. So the way to go fast is to make sure you have plenty of time. So to start, you're going to take a test. When you log on to ALEKS, you'll take a test to determine what you already know and what you don't know. The good thing about that is that, like in some classes, if you had to go into a regular Algebra 1 class, they may be teaching for the next 3 or 4 months stuff that you already know, which is a waste of time for you. ALEKS finds out what you know, and then you start right there. So it's a really good deal, in my opinion. What else do you have to do? Not much. Okay? You do need to take some paper tests to prepare for the Casey test, but those you really won't be graded. It's for you. If you're a 10th grader or you haven't passed Casey yet, the California High School Exit Exam, then basically you have a chance in this class. We'll do some special lessons to get you ready for it. And then this is a really good class to get ready for Casey. It's also true that the first topics that you learn in Algebra 1 help you on the Casey. You'll take a few vocabulary tests on the computer about every 3 weeks, and you need to pass them. If you don't pass them, you'll be given opportunities to retake them. So what we believe is if you learn the vocabulary, then it'll be easier to do the ALEKS topics. That's it. That's about all you have to do. If you finish early, then we have a geometry class in ALEKS, so we will just move you into geometry, and you can get a head start on geometry for next year. Every once in a while, about 1 or 2 students per year so far have actually finished Algebra 1 and finished geometry in 1 year. So it's kind of up to you. What if you fall behind? If you have a computer with internet access at home, you can do extra work anytime you want. Okay, because ALEKS is on the internet, so you can work at home. So one of the things is some students say, well, I don't have homework. Actually, you have as much homework as you want with ALEKS. You can work, half hour every day, or you can work 3 hours every day. It's really up to you if you have a computer at home. You can use your flex time. At Fremont High School we have flex time, so you can come into this room and do ALEKS during your flex time. You can come in at lunchtime, at least with Mr. Hardy. Other teachers may not do this, but at Fremont High School, at lunchtime, Mr. Hardy is usually in room 126, so you can just come in and work there. Oftentimes students will just get one topic done, but it adds up over time. You can come in on Friday mornings during office hours. School starts usually around 9:30, but Mr. Hardy will be in room 126 probably around 7:45. So there's a good hour to an hour and a half of time where you could work and get a lot of help. And if necessary, if you fall behind, if necessary, we can work on Saturday mornings. Okay, that's the end of the first part of the video.